This is Unit 6, Lesson 9, Graphing Using Slope and Y-Intercept, Day 2. As we know, the slope-intercept form of an equation is in the format y equals mx plus b, with m being the slope, that's the coefficient of the x term, and b being the y-intercept, that's the constant. We're going to use this information to graph some lines. All right, example 1. Here I'm showing the steps, and we'll go through each one. Step 1 is figuring out the slope and the y-intercept just from looking at the equation. Of course, you need to make sure it's arranged in the right format with y on the left and everything else on the right. And if it is, then you can tell the slope just by looking. The slope is the coefficient of the x term, which is 3/2, and the y-intercept is the constant, which is -1. So step number 2 is to plot the y-intercept. That's an ordered pair that we know, and so we can go ahead and plot that point right away. Now, we're not told any other points on the line, but step 3 says we can use the slope to actually locate a second point. So we put our pencil right on the y-intercept and then move according to the slope, which is 3/2. So that means we're going to be moving up 3 and to the right 2. So I'm going to move my pencil up 3 to the right 2 and plot another point. Then we can continue doing that, up 3 to the right 2. But then we can also represent that fraction as -3/-2, because that also simplifies to 3/2. So I'm going to move from the y-intercept point down 3 to the left 2. You can see those all line up. So those are just 4 of the points on this line. We know that there are a bazillion more of them, an infinite number actually. So we're going to draw a line through the point to indicate lots of other points on the line, and then put arrows at the end to indicate that it keeps going off the shown portion of the coordinate plane. And there's our line. Example 2, let's try another one. First thing we're going to do is determine our slope and our y-intercept. The slope is -2, so we're going to express that as a fraction, -2/1, and the y-intercept is +3. Before we do anything, we need to think about what that slope means in terms of -2/1. Let's think about the possibilities of how we could express the negative in a fraction. It could be -2/+1, +2/-1, or -2/-1. Now, which of these is appropriate as a way of expressing -2? Well, the first two simplify to the value of -2, but the last one, -2/-1, would make a +2, so that is not an option. So we can express our slope as going down 2 to the right 1, or up 2 to the left 1. So first step, after we've done this, the next step is plotting our y-intercept. That's a +3, so we're going to plot the point 0, 3, and then we're going to move according to slope. First I'm going to move down 2 to the right 1, and I can keep going until I get to the edge of my shown coordinate plane, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, but then I can also go from any of those points up 2 to the left 1. So one more point can be drawn there. Now we're going to connect them all with a line. Don't forget to use a ruler, put arrows at the end, and we are done. Example 3, I'd like you to give a try, so pause the video and go ahead and try that one. All right, example 3, the slope is 1/3 and the y-intercept is +2. So our first step is to plot the point 0, 2, and then we're going to move according to our slope, up 1 to the right 3, and we can also move down 1 to the left 3. And then we've run out of space on our coordinate plane, so go ahead and draw a nice straight line with a ruler or some sort of straight edge, put arrows at the end. Example 4, our slope is the coefficient of the x term, so in this case the value is -1, and our y-intercept is the constant, -4. Now let's think again about how to express that slope. it's -1 over 1 or 1 over -1. Those are our options, so we can either move down 1 to the right 1 or up 1 to the left 1. So I start with my y-intercept at -4, and then I move down 1 to the right 1, or I could move from that point up 1 to the left 1. Keep going till I'm at the edge of the graph, and then I connect with a nice straight edge and arrows at the end. And that's it. All right, that's it. Put your note sheet in your binder. I'll see you tomorrow.